Polling for Srirangam constituency by-election concludes peacefully. Records a historic 83% of voting. Nine killed, more than 16 seriously injured in the Bangalore-Ernakulam intercity express mishap. And AAP leader Arvind Kejriwal to be sworn in as the Delhi Chief Minister tomorrow. The news in detail. Polling for the Srirangam by-election started with a brick road with the youngsters, women and the old voting with interest. The electorate stood in long queues and exercised their franchise. The polling came to a close at 6 p.m. For the first time, Srirangam constituency recorded a historic 83% polling. Due to the elaborate arrangements made in view of the by-election, the voting in Srirangam took place in a peaceful manner. Including the AIADMK candidate S. Valarmati, as many as 29 candidates are in the fray. About 322 polling booths were set up across the constituency. The electorate voted in large numbers with much interest right from early morning.
நடமாடும் தெய்வம்னே அவங்கள சொல்லலாம். தெய்வத்துக்கு அடுத்தபடியா அவங்க என்னென்ன ஜனங்களுக்கு நம்ம மக்களுக்கு நமக்கு என்ன வேணுமோ அதெல்லாம் பார்த்து செய்றாங்க. ரெண்டாவது அம்மாவை தான் குழந்தைகள் அம்மான்னு கேட்டு பசி அறிஞ்சு கொடுக்கறாங்க. தாகம் அறிஞ்சு தண்ணி கொடுக்கறாங்க. இது மருந்து மாத்திரைகள் உடம்பு வரத்துக்கு முன்னாடியே இலவசமாகவும் குறைஞ்ச விலையிலையும் மருந்துகளை கிடைக்க பண்ணிருக்காங்க. எங்களை போல வயோதிகர்கள்லாம் கோவிலுக்கு போகணும்னு ஆசைப்பட்டோம்னா இப்போவாது நடக்க முடியலையே கொள்ள முடியலையே வசதி இருக்கிறவங்க வண்டி வச்சுன்னு போவாங்க. சாதாரணப்பட்டவங்க எப்படி போவாங்க? அங்கே அவங்களுக்கு இந்த வண்டியை வச்சு பெருமாள் சன்னதிலேருந்து தாயார் சந்தை சக்கர தாயார் சந்தை மாதிரி எல்லா இடத்துக்கும் போக முடியாது. எங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஆத்ம திருப்தி கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஜனங்கள் அது புரிஞ்சுட்டு எல்லாம் அவங்கள இது பண்ணணும்.
நம்ம ஸ்ரீரங்கம் தொகுதிக்கு மட்டுமே நிறைய திட்டப்பணிகள் நிறையவே செஞ்சுருக்காங்க. இன்னும் பார்க்க போனால் லா காலேஜ், இன்ஜினியரிங் காலேஜ், பாலிடெக்னிக் இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய விஷயங்கள் இப்போ உள்ள சந்ததியினர் மட்டும் இல்லாமல் பிற்காலத்திலையும் நிறைய பயன்பெற வகையில் நிறைய விஷயங்களை செஞ்சுருக்காங்க. நாங்கள் என்னைக்குமே அம்மா கட்சி தான்.
இந்த ஊரில் அவங்க செஞ்சிருக்கிற அந்த பணிகள் அதை பாராட்டுறதுக்கு வார்த்தையே இல்லை. ஏன்னா நாங்கள் எல்லாம் அவ்வளோ சந்தோஷமா அம்மா இப்போ இந்த 14 பக்கம் உள்ள இந்த கடிதத்தை இந்த புக்லெட் எங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அனுப்பிச்சிருக்காங்க. அதை படிக்கும்போது உண்மையிலேயே எங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் தெரியும். இருந்தாலும் இதை படிக்கும்போது அவ்வளோ ஒரு பெருமையாகவும் சந்தோஷமாகவும் இருக்கு. இந்த உலகம் முழுக்கத்திலேருந்து யாத்ரீகர்கள் வராங்க. அவங்க தங்கறதுக்கு அருமையான ஒரு யாத்ரி நிவாஸ் கட்டியிருக்காங்க. வெளியில எங்கேயும் தேடிட்டு மற்ற ஹோட்டல்ஸ் தேடின்னு போகவே வேண்டாம். அவ்வளோ ஒரு லக்ஸூரியஸா ஒரு அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு ஆடிட்டோரியம் ஒன்று கட்டுறாங்க சிங்கப்பெருமாள் கோவில்ல. இந்த மாதிரி இந்த ஸ்ரீரங்கம் ஊர்ல இல்லாத வசதிகளே இல்லை. இந்த ஊர்ல எல்லாரோட ஓட்டும் அம்மாக்கு தான். அதுல எந்த விதமான சந்தேகமும் இல்லை.
The government's chief whip and election committee in charge R. Manoharan waited in the queue and cast his vote at the poll booth set up at the Srimat Andavan College in Srirangam. Election committee in charge K.P. Krishnan MLA cast his vote at the poll booth set up at the government school in Kurumani. Election committee in charge M. Paranjodi MLA exercised his franchise at a government high school in Etterai. By afternoon, as much as 60% polling was recorded in the constituency. By evening, 82.53% polling was recorded. AIADMK candidate S. Valarmati and the government's chief whip R. Manoharan visited the polling booths in various areas including North Chitrai Veedi, Manikandam and Andanallur areas and inspected the process. About 3,000 personnel were deployed across the constituency for security purposes, even as the entire polling process was supervised with web cameras set up at the polling centres. Soon after the polling was over, the electronic voting machines were sealed and transported to the counting centres under tight vigil. The EVMs have been kept under tight security in the Panjapur Engineering College, where a 3-tier security has been arranged. The counting of votes would be taken up on the 16th of this month and the results would be declared on the same day. No untoward incidents have been reported. By-election for the Srirangam constituency today recorded a historic 83% polling. The polling process commenced at 7 a.m. and concluded peacefully at 6 p.m. People cast their votes in about 322 polling booths set up at 138 centres across the constituency. 1,572 persons were employed for election work. Elaborate security arrangements have been made with deployment of 10 CISF personnel and 31 flying squads from the police department. For the first time, the polling process was telecast on the Tamil Nadu Arasa Cable TV. The poll was monitored by the Tamil Nadu Chief Electoral Officer Sandeep Saxena via control rooms in Chennai. He said that the electorate showed much interest in exercising their franchise.
82.54% is the total voting percentage. Adle male sadvidam 81.9% irukkudu. Female 83.15%. 83.15%. இந்த தொடர்ந்து votingல எங்கேயும் எந்த விதமா சிக்கல் வரல.
Within just 2 hours early in the morning, 19.2% votes was recorded. 34.37% polling was recorded by 11 a.m. By 4 noon, 53.93% was recorded, which rose to 65.89 by 3 p.m. and 76.89 by 4:30 p.m. The polling percentage tentatively touched a historic 82.54 when the voting came to a close at 6 p.m. A total of 2,23,079 electorates have exercised their franchise. Of them, 1,14,056 were women and 1,09,006 were men. 7 of them were transgenders, the election officer said. The BJP and the People's Democratic Party in Jammu and Kashmir on Thursday finally reached an agreement over the formation of the government, which they said would be done before February 23rd. Under the agreement reached between the two largest parties in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly, the PDP will get the Chief Minister's post while a BJP leader will be the Deputy CM. Sources said PDP veteran Mufti Muhammad Syed, who is likely to be the next Jammu and Kashmir CM, will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the next 3 days to finalize a common minimum program to be shared by the two allies. For almost a month, the BJP and the PDP had been working on the common minimum program, which includes controversial issues like Articles 370, the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, and the Uniform Civil Code. Jammu and Kashmir elected a hung assembly after the votes of the 5-phase elections were counted on December 23rd last year, with the PDP emerging as the single largest party with 28 seats in the 87-member House. The BJP emerged as the second largest with 25 seats, followed by the National Conference at 15 and Congress with 12. Smaller parties and independents won 7 seats. Last week, Syed had asserted that the two parties will work shoulder to shoulder to provide good government to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. There would be structured dialogue between leaders of the two parties and discussions would be held on the issues to finalize on a common minimum program before forming the government, the PDP leader said. The governor's rule was imposed in the state on January 9th, a day after National Conference leader Omar Abdullah asked Governor N.N. Vohra to relieve him of the duties of a caretaker chief minister with immediate effect. Nearly 100 passengers injured after the Ernakulam-bound train from Bengaluru toppled near Belagondapalli village near Hosur today. In an early morning train accident near Bengaluru, 10 passengers died and many were injured after several coaches of the Ernakulam-bound Bengaluru City Ernakulam Intercity Express derailed on the city's outskirts. Earlier reports said 13 people had been killed in the accident. The accident has been reported at Belagondapalli near Anekal town on the city's outskirts around 7:35 a.m. Railway sources said that 9 coaches derailed, causing the accident. A senior railway official said initial reports suggest a boulder may have fallen on the track. Railway sources said that the 3 bodies have been removed from the coach and are yet to be identified. According to railway sources, D7 and D8 general compartment coaches were the worst affected, and initial investigations reveal that the train may have come to an abrupt halt that has led to the derailment of 9 coaches. Sources pointed out that the section between Anekal and Hosur was a slow section and was also part of Elephant Corridor, and hence trains moved slowly. However, the reasons could be established only after the technical team completed its probe. Exactly 1 year after he quit over the Jan Lokpal issue, Aam Aadmi Party leader Arvind Kejriwal will take oath tomorrow at the historic Ram Leela ground as the 8th Chief Minister of Delhi after leading AAP to a stupendous victory in the assembly polls trouncing BJP. Kejriwal's close confidant Manish Sisodia is likely to be sworn in as a Deputy Chief Minister, and another AAP leader Satyendra Jain may also make it for the second time. All others are first-time MLAs, Jitendra Tomar, Gopal Rai, Sandeep Kumar and Asim Ahmed Khan, who are tipped to be part of the Kejriwal cabinet. Sahdara MLA Ramnivas Goyal, could be the Speaker of the Assembly, while Bandana Kumari from Shalimar Bagh constituency will be the Deputy Speaker, AAP sources said. 46-year-old Kejriwal, in a radio message, has already invited people of Delhi to his swearing-in ceremony at the Ram Leela grounds. Around 1,200 Delhi police personnel will keep a tight vigil at the venue, where a large crowd is expected to gather. The security wing will secure the stage where Delhi Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung will administer the oath of office and secrecy to Kejriwal and 5 other ministers. Kejriwal is expected to unveil his priorities for the government after taking oath. Former Union Minister Shashi Tharoor appeared before the Special Investigation Team yet again this afternoon in connection with the mysterious death of his wife Sunanda Pushkar. This is the third time in the last 24 hours that he is meeting the Delhi police sleuths. He arrived at the police station around 12:30 p.m. and left around 1 p.m., witnesses said. Sources said he had come to mark his attendance with the police and inform about his schedule as he is leaving for Kerala in the evening. Police sources said Tharoor has been asked not to leave Delhi without informing the police. He was questioned in 2 rounds on Thursday and finally left the Vasant Vihar office of the SIT at midnight. He was earlier questioned on January 19th. 2 persons were killed in a grenade blast at Sepon in Sibsagar district of Assam today. Unknown persons travelling in cycle hurled a grenade at the house of prominent businessman Biren Agarwal on JP Road in Sepon Market around 8:45 a.m., killing 2 persons, police said. Biren Agarwal's younger brother Situ Agarwal and their driver Dimbeshwar Bhuyan were killed on the spot in the explosion as they were going out of the house, the officer said. The locals claimed that the prescribed Ulfa Independent, which is active in the area, had recently demanded extortion money from the Agarwal family, who refused to make the payment. At least 19 people were killed today in the Pakistani city of Peshawar in a gun and bomb attack on a Shiite mosque and the latest sectarian violence to hit the South Asian nation. Radical Sunni Islamist groups often target mosques frequented by minority Shiites, whom they see as infidels. Police said armed men broke into the mosque where people were attending Friday prayers and opened fire, following which 3 explosions were heard inside the building. The Pakistan Taliban, who are fighting against the state to set up a hardline Sunni theocracy, claimed responsibility and said the attack was revenge for Pakistan's crackdown on militants following a December school massacre in which more than 150 children were killed. Either Pakistan will become your graveyard or God's law. Sharia will be implemented, Taliban commander Khalifa Omar Mansour said in a video in which he was flanked by 3 young militants clutching AK-47 assault rifles. The government has pledged to crack down on all militant groups and has reintroduced the death penalty, set up military courts to speed convictions. Last month, dozens of people were killed in a similar attack on a Shiite mosque in the southern town of Shikarpur. Japan's military said today that 3 crew members died in an helicopter crash a day after the chopper went missing in bad weather. The Maritime Self-Defense Force of Japan's Navy initially said the trio had no heartbeat when they found this morning during a search and rescue mission. The OH-60A helicopter went missing in the southern region of Kyushu on Thursday morning. It was later found in the dense woods along with its crew, 2 of whom were experienced instructors. The third was a trainee who was learning aircraft navigation. It was not immediately clear what caused the accident, but the military said the crew had changed their flight plan in mid-air due to poor weather. The first ball of ICC Cricket World Cup 2015 will be bowled at Hagley Oval at 3:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time at Christchurch tomorrow. Co-host New Zealand and Sri Lanka will headline the opening act of the cricket's biggest tournament. Also on Saturday, old foes Australia, the other co-host, and England will face off at Melbourne Cricket Ground. India and Pakistan face off on Sunday is one of the most eagerly anticipated matches in the history of ODI cricket. Cricket Australia Chief Executive James Sutherland stated yesterday that the match will be most watched cricket match ever. The Indian team hold a 5-0 record over the arch rivals when it comes to matches played in the 50-over World Cup, and that is a record MS Dhoni's men would want to keep going when the 2 teams meet at the Adelaide Oval.